Aavelin Composer supports the importing of Adobe Flash. This is a file format that can be used to display short animations or longer presentations, and can also in some cases utilize network resources to bring in live information as well. Flash objects have to be authored in very specific authoring programs. We aren't going to be creating Flash animations or objects within Aavelin Composer, but we are going to be bringing in ones that have been created from one of those other programs. So let's go over what that process looks like. It's also important to note that the latest version of Flash that's been released by Adobe is typically a couple versions ahead of what we support on the Aavelin system. So for information on the latest supported release within Composer, check the Magic Box website. Let's go ahead and click on the Insert Flash button. When we do that, the placeholder appears on the page area in our standard Aavelin page, and the Properties dialog comes up automatically. Let's go ahead and browse for a specific Flash object here, one that's just going to demonstrate some of the very basic things that Flash is able to do with some animation. We can see the preview window here renders what the animation actually looks like. This gives us a good idea of what we're about to insert onto the page. And for right now, let's just go ahead and click on OK. Let's add that in here. We can move this around and resize it just like we've been able to do with other objects. One thing that's important to note is if we click off of this object, we can't reselect it just by clicking on it. Flash is interactive, and so this object thinks that we're just trying to interact with it in some way and click on some portion of it. With Composer, though, and the Aavelin system in general, with Flash it's a very passive medium. It's just going to be observed. There's no way to interact with it. So if we wanted to reselect it on the page, we need to reselect it from this drop-down box up at the top of the screen here. You can see it says Flash and then has the file name of the object as well. So we'll click on that, and then we can click on the Properties button to get back to the Properties sheet. We have options for transparency if we wanted to key out a specific color. We can control the audio of this particular Flash object. It is possible to have more than one Flash object on a page, and if they both contained audio, you could be in for a mess. So you may want to control the volume of those Flash objects independently. Additionally, with Flash, you sometimes have the ability to link to additional files. For example, I could have a larger container video that as one element of it contains a short video, like maybe it links to a YouTube video or something like that. If I had that video file or image file or whatever it was, I could add it right here. Just click on the Add button, and then I could select that additional file and it would be transferred to the system as well. There's more information on that and how to implement something like that in the Container SWF tutorial video available from the tutorials section of the Magic Box support website. So we can click on the OK button. We have our object placed here. I did mention that you can have more than one Flash object on screen, and there may be some interference with audio levels between the two. If we click on Page Properties and go to the Audio Video tab, note that the internal mixer on the far right over here is where we can control the master volume of all Flash objects. So if you have two Flash objects, one of them has been muted under its own properties sheet, you also have additional control over the volume of the remaining Flash object right here.